Hi everyone, this is Sheridan Marfil, and I'm here to talk to you about my networks. So, I kind of look at my networks as being four distinct groups, and me being in the middle of all of them. So, I have my family, my friends, social media, and professional. So, these all together make up my networks and me. I want to talk to you a little bit about Facebook because it's a really interesting hybrid of being a really great example of um, offline and online in terms of my relationships and my networks. So my Facebook is kind of broken up in the same fashion as my networks, just in general. So we have my family, and this is made up of my immediate family, my mom, dad, sister, and brother, all on Facebook. Uh, the Samara side, which is my mom's side, she's one of nine. So we have my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, and more cousins. And these two networks are super tight. Most of my family lives in New Jersey, and we get together for all holidays, the people that are there, and for different birthdays, communicate very often. I don't as much just being in DC away from them, but being on Facebook allows me to to quote talk with them a lot more. So it's been a really great connector, and especially for my cousins and that are older and having children, I'm able to keep up with how the kids are growing just because of the photos. So also on Facebook in terms of family is the Marfil side, which is my dad's side. We have my aunts, uncles, cousins, and more cousins. My dad is one of six, so big family. Um, they are mostly in the Philippines, so I haven't met many of them, and a lot of the ways that I've connected with them is on Facebook. They've found me, or I found them, and it's been really great because I feel like I know what's going on with them in the Philippines. Without having to pick up the phone or even knowing that this cousin existed. So it's difficult for us to communicate just because they are in the Philippines, but having Facebook has been a great connector for that. Um, then we have my friends. So here we have the people I went to high school with in Hightstown, New Jersey. My alma mater, which is Syracuse, and then Washington, D.C. So these make up my friends, and there is some overlap between Hightstown and DC, Hightstown and Syracuse, Syracuse and DC. It's been really great to have like such a strong network of friends. Just being surrounded by them. So just being on Facebook allows me to kind of keep up with my friends from high school because we're kind of all over the place now. Same with my friends in Syracuse. So we're able to just, again, like look at pictures, write on each other's walls. In terms of DC, I've used it to see what events people are attending, or just to say, hey, like, you've moved to DC, let's get together. So then we have social media people. I've met a lot of people on social media that I've met in real life, and then there are some people that are strictly online, and we are friends on Facebook. I keep my Facebook pretty personal, so for me to friend you without meeting you in real life is a huge deal. So they make up the social media portion of my Facebook, and then we have the professional. So these are people who I've worked with. Like I said, there's some overlap. So there are friends that I've met on social media, that these are people I've met in real life or online that I can talk to and kind of depend on to be a good friend. And the reason why these three networks, sorry, let me digress, are separate from my family is because my family does not work in the same industry. A lot of my family nurses, doctors, so we don't work in the same space, so they wouldn't have any professional overlap. Same with social media. They tweet personally or go on Facebook personally, but we don't, they don't have the same networks as I do on social media. And family, friends, I mean, friends can be family, but, and my family definitely knows some of my friends, but I just look at my family as being this distinct group. like I said, then there are people that I'm friends with from work who became really good friends, and then I consider them a friend now and not just a colleague. There are professional connections that I've met on social media. One of the jobs that I applied for came to me because of the person that I met on social media knew about this job and knew the person who was hiring for it. And then there's a very small bunch that are all three of these. In terms of connectors and mavens, I think that in my family, my grandma would be the quote maven. She kind of, from my mom's side, she brought everybody over from the Philippines herself and helped with, getting them over here. She kind of, what she says goes and keeps the family together. And the connectors being my aunt and my uncle, the 9 children. They kind of they keep up with each other, talk to each other, their sisters and brothers, so they all talk to each other all the time, so kind of trickle down to the family. And then I think of myself as being the connector for some of my networks on, the friends, professional and social media side. I feel like I've introduced a lot of people just, from all different walks of life, just especially in DC. If someone, like I said, if someone's moving here, I like to connect with them and then introduce them to people, especially if they're new here. And I don't look at anyone as being one big maven. I don't think that my friends have it in them to be that big of an influencer, to kind of influence what everybody else is saying, especially on Facebook. So the other social media site that I wanted to talk to you about is LinkedIn. And again, it's another really great example of my offline and online relationships. So LinkedIn, I keep it fairly professional. So it's mostly for people I've connected with at work that I wouldn't friend on Facebook. So I wanted to introduce you to LinkedIn Maps. And if you haven't ever mapped out your LinkedIn, it's really awesome. If you just Google it, I think you just enter your password and it'll map out what your networks look like on LinkedIn. So US Travel is here. These are social media people that I've know in DC. This is Heightstown High School. This light blue is a very strange hybrid of people just that I've met in New Jersey, a little bit from Syracuse, some from DC that don't really fit here, don't work in social media. So this is kind of strange. And then these are the outliers. Again, there's more outliers. And then here's the Partnership for Public Service. I've never worked there, but I was dating someone that worked there. So met a lot of his work colleagues. So they're a significant portion of my LinkedIn network. And then here's the International Center for Research on Women. So it's kind of interesting, and I'm in the middle of all of these. It's kind of interesting that none of these sects really, interlapped or overlap with each other, because I've had the privilege of working in very many different industries in DC. I have a degree in international development and French for my undergrad, and I took on the job at US Travel because they wanted to do research on emerging markets like China and Japan. So I took they liked my international development background and hired me there. International Center for Research on Women does a lot of development work. Social media, this is the comms. I got into communications, so this is all of the communications people, and sometimes they work in, a couple people work in US Travel, and sometimes they work in development, but not all the time. And then I just think that this is a very interesting connection. So, I really would, and I feel like this is a very typical DC map, just because everybody works from all different kinds of backgrounds, nonprofits, government, and I really would love for this network to kind of connect a little more if there was a way to make those connections. So that's a brief overview of my networks. Hope you enjoyed, and talk to you guys soon. Thanks.